What's going on, guys? This week's lure review is going to be on the Rapala Clackin Crank, not to be confused with the cranking wrap. This is the Clackin Crank, and you can see that it has this little disc here on the side, so that's how you're going to distinguish the Clackin Crank from the cranking wrap. So a few different features I'm going to show you. I know that some people get those two lures confused, so I wanted to throw that out there, and I'll show a couple other features that will separate this one from the others. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, guys. So like I was saying, this crankbait has a few different features that separates it from the cranking wrap. If I can dig one out of here, I'll show you. The cranking wrap is another squirrel bill crankbait that's put out by Rapala, and it's different because it doesn't have that rattle chamber, but it's also different because it doesn't have that disc here on the side. This is the cranking wrap, and then here is the Clackin Crank. Okay, so what you're going to find with the Clackin Cranks is that they have more of that X wrap style finish. So this is more of their higher end, I guess. They're more their top tier design that Rapala has. So you're going to get the better foil finishes, and you're going to get the better eyes and such. And you're going to pay a little bit more of a, I guess you can say, a premium price. They're $10+. So some people might argue with that price point. I'm not here to say whether or not they should be priced there or not, but that's where they are. They're around the $10 or $11 price range. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the measurements and the dimensions with you guys. There are two styles of crankbaits in this lineup. You have the square bill lineup, and then you have the ones that have the same body, but they have a diving lip on them. Now, if you go to Rapala's website, they have three under the Clackin Crank page. They have a CNC 53 and a 55 and a 74. And if you go to Tackle Warehouse, they have three as well, but they also have one more that shows a deep diving bill on it, and I would assume that one's the 610. So for the interest of this review, we're going to focus on the square bill variety. In fact, I'll go ahead and put on the header for the title of this video. I'll just make sure that it's distinguished, that it shows it has a square bill in the name. So three different sizes. The first size that we're going to focus on is this one right here, which is the smallest one. This is the CNC 53. It has a body length of 2 inches, a weight of 5/16 of an ounce, and it has a diving depth of 3 feet. And the treble hooks are 2 number 8 size treble hooks. And then the next size, you'll bump up into the CNC 55, which has a body length of, yet again, 2 inches and a weight of 5/16 of an ounce. And it has 2 number 8 size treble hooks again. And that one has a running depth of 5 feet. So if you look at the diving bill on the 55, it's a little bit more aggressive. It's kind of kicked out a little bit more this way. It's still a square bill, but it's kicked out this way. This one is more like this way, kind of like a wake bait. But this is definitely not a wake bait. I'm just saying that it's kicked in like a wake bait is. But this is definitely not a wake bait. It definitely runs in that 2 to 3 feet zone, which it's definitely diving. The next one we have is a CNC 74, which has a running depth of 4 feet, it has a body length of 2 3/4 of an inch, a weight of 5/8 of an ounce, and it has a running depth of 4 feet. And it has 2 number 4 size treble hooks. So the reason why I went with the 53 over the 55 is, personally, I like the smaller compact size. I feel like you're going to get bit a little bit more, and I don't feel like the quality of the bite is any more or not anymore, but I don't feel like it's any less of a quality of a bite. So I like throwing that smaller size, and if the weight is the same between the 53 and the 55 and they're both 5/16 of an ounce, then I'm going to go with the smaller size as far as the smaller profile, because the profile, to me, I like that 1.5 size. In fact, here is a KVD 1.5, and you'll actually see that this thing is, I mean, not significantly smaller, but it's definitely noticeably smaller than a KVD 1.5. So it is definitely a smaller crankbait. So if you want that bigger size, you might want to jump up into the CNC 74, which has a body length of 2 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to get you into this range. So I would say it's quite a bit bigger. So anyway, first thing that you notice about this bait is this chamber here on the side. The way that this thing works, it looks like just a disc on either side, but the way it is it's like it's a cylinder that goes all the way through the bait. I saw a picture of this, so I hope I'm describing this correctly, but the way I saw it is that this is a cylinder that goes all the way through the bait, and inside this cylinder there's a ball that sits inside of it, and that's how they get the rattle inside of it. So you can hear that it has that very distinct metal on metal sound. It's almost kind of like a Rick Clun rattling LC RT, or it's an RC RT 1.5. Because that one has 2 metal balls that rattle around inside of it, and this has metal to metal contact, so it kind of has that same high pitch rattle sound inside of it. So another reason to pick this up because of that different pitch that it has when you're running it through the water. Like I said, it has the X-Wrap style finish on it, so you're gonna get that. I've told you in the past when I did the X-Wrap reviews that finish is very, very durable because the foil finishes and stuff are underneath. Okay, now the bottom of this is painted. You can see this one's painted orange on the bottom. Okay, but like this yellow here it's actually underneath. Okay, that foil finish is underneath. Okay, some of the things that you're going to see, some of the features. You see that this says Rapala right on it, right on the square bill. There we go. It's got the 3-dimensional holographic eyes. You've got the raised gill plates. You have an etched scale pattern, but it's underneath the plastic here, so you can see it there, but it's underneath it. So, but it's still there. You see that that raised fin there. You can see the mouth is cut into the bait there. Maybe I can get it to focus. There we go. You can see this says Rapala Clackin Crank 53. The other thing that you're going to notice are the VMC Sure Set hooks on it. It has one VMC Sure Set hook. They're both VMC, but this one has a Sure Set hook on the back of it. The idea is that when they go and they bite this extra wide gap hook that's on one of the trebles will kick up and hit them in the roof of the mouth, and it'll be harder for them to throw that bait because it has this wide gap in here that'll make it harder for them to get off because it actually pins them inside of there. So, and it actually gets them back in here. So this is a fairly thin wire hook because this is a small bait. This is a number 8 size hook, you guys. So these are smaller hooks. You're not going to find like the big gigantor size hooks like you're going to find on some of these other ones that have the nice thick wire hooks. So you are going to have to use more of a finesse style tactic when you're using the 53 and the 55 size unless you decide to upsize the hooks. Now if you decide to upsize the hooks, keep in mind, this is a slow floating bait. A slow floating bait meaning that when it dives down, it's not like the 6 cents crankbait that we did last week. The 6 cents crankbait floats really fast after it dives. This one, very, very slow, painfully slow. One of the things I liked about it is after you stopped cranking, this thing almost goes to a dead stop and then floats up. So if you want that finesse style approach to squarebill fishing, this is a great little crankbait, you guys. I mean, you can't get the durability is excellent. One thing that I've read on some of the reviews, some people say that this cylinder in here makes the bait leak. Okay, I can't say neither here nor there as far as leaking is concerned because of the fact that I haven't used it that much and I haven't seen that happen, but I've used it and I hadn't had that happen, so something to keep in mind. But at the same time, I mean, I haven't seen it happen, so Let's go over, well, let me give you a measurement because I always forget to do that. My measurement is going to go ahead and show you 2 1/8 inches on the body length. And then if you go to the last ring, it's 2 1/4. And then if you use the bill and the last ring, it's like 2 5/8, just a shade under 2 5/8 of an inch. So about 2.5 inches in length that this bait is altogether. So, and it casts really, really well, you guys. You wouldn't think 5/16 of an ounce. I mean, it casts like a 3/8 ounce bait. It casts every bit as well as this 1.5 by KVD. So definitely don't be deterred by that smaller size. Sometimes that smaller size, like I said, it'll get you bit a little bit more. So this first color I'm going to show you is Chartreuse Shad. Chartreuse Shad just has this orange belly, black back, and a gold side. So there's Chartreuse Shad. Next color I'm going to show you is, I think this is Regal Shad. Regal Shad I got on sale for whatever reason. I think they're clearancing this color out. This one was only $9, $8.88, and the other one was $10.99. So Regal Shad just has this purple. Definitely 100% not showing up correctly on this camera. If I'm looking at the screen correctly and it's gonna be the same as when I upload it to YouTube, it is not showing up correctly at all. This is showing up as more of a dark purple on the video, and it's definitely more like it's definitely got more red inside the purple. Not to say that it's red, but it's definitely got more red in it because of the fact that it's a lighter shade of purple than what you're actually seeing here. If I can get it to focus a little bit better, it might show up more correctly. Well, I'll tell you what, when I take the picture, hopefully it shows up on the picture correctly. So Regal Shad, it's just a shad profile, you guys. It's got the pearl belly with the yellow shad stripe down the middle of it with that purple back. So you can kind of use this for that table rock application, but it still has more application because of the fact that it's not so yellow like a table rock. So it only has that yellow stripe down the side. So there's Regal Shad. All right, guys. So this is the Rapala Clackin Crank 53. Like I said, some guys, they don't like throwing the smaller crankbaits like these. I know I don't. Quarter ounces. I mean, I normally don't even buy quarter-ounce crankbaits, but I like this one because it still has a little bit more. I mean, it's a quarter-ounce profile, you guys, but it has that castability of a 3/8 ounce crankbait, which is the whole reason why I don't throw quarter-ounce crankbaits, because you just can't throw them out there that far, and I don't like throwing my crankbaits on spinning gear. So with that being said, Rapala Clackin Crank. We've got several different. They got a ton of colors, you guys. Tackle Warehouse shows 13 alone, so they've got all the colors to meet your needs. Check them out. Thanks for watching. I don't know which lure review we're going to do next week. We might do the Bandit or maybe the Jackal Aska. Let me know what you guys want to see. You guys saw the Tackle Warehouse video. Please like my video. I noticed that you guys have been doing that, and I really appreciate that. Really kind of lets me know where I am with the audience, and I'm really trying to hit you guys so you guys can see give you guys what you want to see. So let me know if you guys like the video. Just give me the thumbs up on the bottom right down here. It's over here. And thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next week.